What's going on, lovely people? How are you? Welcome into the show. We're here with Fred and Dre. This is the Flea Flicker Show.
All right, what's up, Fred?
What is up, Adrian? Happy to be here. Happy to talk football. I'm pumped for this week's games. My Birds face a fellow 2-0 and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Monday night, and we're looking forward to it and hoping we can kick some ass,
Yeah, I got the L on my forehead because I had a fluke loss last week. Looking forward to get back in the game this week.
Fluke, sure, yeah.
Yeah, some interesting.
You rode with the
Some
Browns,
interesting
which is
notes.
something that no one ever should do.
No, I'm never doing it again, especially in the wake of Nick Chubb's unfortunate injury. But yeah, some real quick notes. The NFC East and the NFC South both have 3 2-0 teams, unexpected from both of those, especially the South. That's pretty wild with teams that everyone thought was going to be terrible, which they still might. They still might be, but we'll see. Some teams that need a win this week, in my opinion, the Bengals, they're 0-2. They need a much-needed win. The Chargers, 0-2. They need a win. And the Patriots at 0-2 also need a win this week because 0-3 teams generally don't fare well when it comes to the playoffs.
No, not at all. Yeah, definitely. We'll see how it goes. And I'm liking the look of that L on your forehead, gotta say. Could be a little darker. Mine was pretty damn dark last week, but
yeah, I did it pretty quick.
Yeah,
but just in case someone needs to see
what jersey
it.
you rocking there? Little LT. I know you like your running backs.
Hell yeah, LT baby.
Okay.
Chargers getting the win this week. Maybe we'll see when we get there. I think they're gonna have the game of the week, but we'll get to it.
Let's get into the games. I mean, we got starting off with your boys. We got the New York Football Giants versus the 49ers.
Thursday night pick, baby. We got the Giants heading to the 49ers. This one, I mean, the Giants might have a shot if they play like they did in the second half, right? Right, guys?
Theoretically, but that's a very
Giants.
A very hopeful approach.
Yeah, they're coming in with a lot of injuries. Aziz didn't play last week. Saquon got hurt, and Andrew Thomas, I'm thinking they held him out against the Cardinals because they wanted him to play in this game, but we don't know if any of those three are going to be here. They're all pretty big players for the Giants, so that's tough. They're also probably going to lose Bredesen. He's in concussion protocol, one of their guards, and Wandale has yet to play as the receiver. The 49ers, Brandon Ayuk is questionable after getting injured in last game. But honestly, no Ayuk, probably no problem. The 49ers are just too dominant against a questionable Giants team. McCaffrey's probably going to go off, have a huge game, and on the Giants O-line is just going to get dominated. There's no way they're going to hold back Nick Bosa or this defensive line. So I think the Niners are just going to come away with a very unfortunate, sad win. I hope the Giants can do something, but I'm not holding my breath. So I'm going with the 49ers.
Yeah, I think just based off of recency and who the Giants have been so far this season, I think you got to go with the 49ers. That being said, if you can't play and you do bottle up CMC a little bit, I think they are beatable. Because outside of their main receivers, they don't really use anybody. I mean, Purdy doesn't even throw to George Kittle. I mean, you could see Kittle's role improve here if Ayuk's out, but outside of those top two receivers, no one is really involved in that offense in terms of a receiving aspect. So how many threats do they have outside of those guys? Remains to be seen, but do the Giants have a good enough defense to hold them at bay and an offense that can do something against that strong D?
Yeah, good points. Let's move, though, to Sunday, 1 p.m. games in Baltimore. The Colts are coming to town. This will be an interesting game. The Ravens have a lot of injuries. Humphrey, Linderbaum, Stanley, and Williams in the secondary all missed last game. We'll see if any of them can come back. The O-line could be tough. OBJ got hurt. They're hoping he can play. And for the Colts, Anthony Richardson, kind of a big name there. He could be out. He's in concussion protocol. They would have to turn to Gardner Minshew, which, I mean, I trust him, but against this Ravens D, do I? I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, this is a game where so who are you taking in this? Are you taking Ravens?
I am going to take the Ravens,
okay.
Yeah.
So we're this
I
week
think
we're
it'll
going to
be.
get a split really quick. I
Oh,
think this isn't going to be an upset this week. I think the Colts offense has looked really good, especially if Richardson plays. I think they can definitely steal this game. But Minshew is no slouch. Minshew can hang with a lot of teams. He looked really good
true.
in the Eagles offense last year. If he takes care of the ball, he can perform. He performed with Jacksonville a couple years ago, and that was before they were who they are now. And I just don't think with the injuries that they have, especially if Odell's not healthy, I don't think that the Ravens are going to have a dominant run game, and they don't have enough in a passing game to supplant that as their offensive focus. And the Colts offense looks really good. So I'm going to risk the biscuit here, and I'm going to take the Colts.
Hey, you want the L this week? That's fine. No, I'm just kidding. I did say that it could be a close game in my notes because of a lot of things you mentioned. I think it will be a surprise close game, but I do think that the Ravens are going to pull this one off. I just trust them a little bit more. I trust Harbaugh, really. Let's go to the Browns now. The Titans are heading to the Browns Stadium. This could be a good defensive game. The Titans could be missing Skoronski again, and obviously the Browns lost Nick Chubb for the season. A huge loss for them. But I think this is going to be a defensive one. The Titans D could end up making it close. We'll see. Can they shut down the run game without Chubb? That's a big question, and I don't know if Watson can handle it if they do. But I am going to take the Browns anyways. I still don't fully trust the Titans. What do you think? I'm gonna let the
I
dog out
agree.
real quick.
Yeah, I see Dooney hopping up there in the mirror. So, but I agree. I think that there are a lot of holes, a lot of question marks for the Browns, especially with Nick Chubb going down. Can they do enough? But the passing game did look pretty good. If Deshaun can take care of the ball this game, I think the Browns take it. And I think the Browns are a better team. I think the Browns defense is good enough to hold back the entirety of the Titans offense. Really, if you can't beat them through the air, that's where you want to beat them. And the run game isn't going to be dominant for the Titans this game. Obviously, Henry's still going to make some noise,
Yeah.
but I'm taking Browns in this just because I think they're a stronger team, stronger overall.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. So we're in lockstep with that one. Let's move to Detroit. The Falcons are going to Detroit to take on a pretty solid team so far in Detroit. They do have a lot of injuries though coming off of last week. They still have Decker hurt. Gardner Johnson got hurt. Their secondary and their tackle room are going to be questionable in this game. Montgomery went down. He's probably going to miss the game, so they're going to have to rely on Gibbs. Then Big V got hurt, and James Houston went down. So that's a lot of people that are either straight missing or questionable for this game. Can they fight off a Falcons team that hasn't had to deal with too many injuries so far?
Yeah, this should be a good game, but like you said, there are a lot of injuries on the Lions side, and can they make it past those injuries? It remains to be seen. If St. Brown comes out isn't playing this game, that's going to be huge. I mean, the offense runs through him. If he's not there, the offense is going to be a shell of itself. And but regardless if he's there, I actually have this as another upset. I have the Falcons taking this and starting the season 3-0. So the Falcons, I think they're going to steal this game. I think they can establish the run with Bijan there, and I think Bijan can have another day, maybe not 170 yards, but a TD and 100. So, I mean, he is a rare talent, and I think that Ritter showed enough in the passing game to make me feel a little confident they can score through the air. So, and just especially with the injuries the Lions have, I'm taking the Falcons.
Yeah, another split here then. I think the Lions should win this game. I think they're going to really get Gibbs going in this one, and he's going to get involved and have a pretty good first big game for him. St. Brown, I think, is going to play, and I think he's going to go off in this one, and Goff is going to have another big game in this one as well.
It might be tough.
It really
though.
depends
we'll have the AJ Terrell assignment.
That's true. That's a good
Very
point.
good corner.
I think a lot of this is going to depend on if Ritter can open up like he kind of did in the second half of last game. I don't think he's going to get it done like he did, though. A little fun thing, it's going to be Bijan versus Gibbs first time, two rookie first-round running backs. So that's fun. We'll see if one of them's better. It should be Bijan, but yeah, I'm going to take the
Should
Lions. So a split
Yeah, yeah.
there.
Right away, we got 2 splits, so it should be a
Yeah.
fun week. Let's go to the next one here.
Yeah, let's go to the Packers Stadium, Lambeau Field. The Saints are coming into Lambeau. This could be a fun game. The Packers have a lot of injuries. Aaron Jones, will he be able to come back? Will Christian Watson be able to get into his first game? Bakhtiari missed last week. Can he come back? There's a couple big ones right there. And then the Saints, like we talked about, Jamal Williams is possibly going to be out in this one. So can the rookie running back, who they hope can go in this one, he also missed last game. But can they get their running game going? I think the Packers need some of these players back. The Saints, who's going to be the running back, like we said, I think really it's going to come down to the end, and the Saints and Derek Carr are going to win a close one in the fourth quarter with a big Chris Olave big play at the end. So I'm taking the Saints in this one.
Yeah, this one really depends on 2 things for me. 2 players. If Watson and Jones come back, I think the Packers take this game. If they do not,
I could agree.
I think it's the Saints. So I don't know if you're okay with putting a stipulation on this. If they
yes.
aren't healthy, if they aren't playing, then Saints 100%. If they are playing, Packers.
Yeah, if Aaron Jones plays, I'm picking the Packers. So yeah, I'm totally on board with the stipulation on this one.
So I think we're on the same board with that. We're not on the opposite end. So I think that stipulation's fine. But yeah, I just think, like, if Aaron Jones is there, it opens up the offense so much more in a way that makes it a lot harder for the Saints to stop. But if he isn't there, then Dylan proved last week, I don't know if he can get it done. So Packers look good, but Saints at home, Derek Carr in that offense look pretty damn good. And Kondre Miller is a good receiving back, so he should be involved pretty well there.
Yeah, should be a good game, but let's head to Duval. Jaguars, Texans are coming to town. The Texans, they had Petrie and Ward, their 2 safeties, weren't in the last game, and Laramie Tunzel also at tackle, they missed him. We'll see if any of them can come back. The Jags don't really have anybody that I noted that is injured, so they should be fully healthy. I think Christian Kirk and Ridley can go off in this one, and Trevor Lawrence is going to have a big day against this Texans defense. I think it's really just going to be a Stroud growth game for the Texans, so I'm definitely going to pick the Jags.
I would 100% agree on that. I do think it's going to be another good Stroud day. I think in fantasy perspective, Stroud's going to have a good day. He's going to connect with Collins. He's going to connect with Dell. You might even see some increased production with Mechie now that he has a second game in his career under his belt. So I think he's going to have a good day. But in terms of the whole team, I think the Texans are just not matched up enough to beat the Jags. The Jags are going to come in hungry after losing last week to the Chiefs. And I have the Jags taking this one.
Yeah. Okay, so we're on par there. Let's head to Miami. The Broncos are coming to Miami facing the Dolphins. This could be a good one. The Broncos have been a little better than I think people expected, even though they did take an L. The Dolphins, though, they've been very impressive. They're coming against a decent defense, though. The Broncos could be without Frank Clark, and the Dolphins, big news, Jalen Waddle, I believe it's concussion protocol. Is he going to be able to play this one? Because that's kind of big for their offense there. But ultimately, I think the Finns' offense is just too explosive. Waddle out obviously could affect that, but I think the Dolphins are just too much, and I think they're going to take this one. But could this be a Jerry Jeudy comeback game? He played injured last week, but he did play. But could he come back and have a big one in this one? We'll see. What do you think?
Yeah, this could be a trap game. It could be a game where the Broncos do steal the win. Russ looked really good last week. He had a connection with Mims. Jeudy will have another game back healthy. He clearly likes Sutton as well. The run game kind of stinks, but you don't necessarily need that with a good passing game with 3 weapons. So they may be able to steal it, but I just think the Dolphins have too many weapons. They're too good. I think the Dolphins are going to come out with this win. Tyreek Hill, 2 weeks ago, he had 1 catch for 100 yards. 2 weeks ago, he had 1 catch for 100 yards. So I think the Dolphins are going to come out with this win. I think the Dolphins are going to come out with this win. I think the Dolphins are going to come out with this win. I think the Dolphins are going to come out with this win. I think the Dolphins are going to come out with this win. I think the Dolphins are going to come out with this win. I think the Dolphins are going to come out with this win. I think the Dolphins are going to come out with this win. I think the Dolphins are going to come out with this win. I think the Dolphins are going to come out with this win. I think the Dolphins are going to come out with this win. I think the Dolphins are going to come out with this win. I think the Dolphins are going to come out with this win. I think the Dolphins are going to come out with this win. I think the Dolphins are going to come out with this win. I think the Dolphins are going to come out with this win. I think the Dolphins are going to come out with this win. I think the Dolphins are going to come out with this win. I think the moves all over the place, so he's not necessarily going to get the certain treatment. And they move around, especially if Waddle's healthy. If Waddle's healthy, those two weapons there, they're not going to be able to contain them. And Braxton Berrios, he's a solid number 3 option. And can't forget about Mostert breaking out last week. And I just think there's too many weapons for the Dolphins. I think they're too well coached to fall short. And I mean, both teams are well coached, but I just think the Dolphins take this.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Will Russ be able to cook the Dolphins ultimately is the question. I think it could be a shootout.
Is he a big seafood fan?
I don't know. He might be.
Well,
let's move to my game.
It's a lot leaner. He's pretty fit, so he might be taking the seafood diet.
That's true. Plus, Sean Payton's there, so that's good coaching. But yeah, let's move to my game of the week. Chargers heading to Minnesota. These are two teams that are both really explosive, but also just know how to let their fan bases down game after game. So who's going to be the letdown champ in this one? No, that's a terrible way to say that. I'm sorry. But this should be a really fun one. Explosive teams. The Chargers, will they get Eckler back? And Kendricks, the linebacker, can they contain the run a little better? Vikings, Bradbury and Darisaw missed it. Their O-line is a little tough. But these are two teams, like I said, that can they just find a way to lose. I think this is going to be a huge shootout. Keenan Allen, Jefferson both go off for big games. Addison making big plays again. Williams make a big play out there. You got Hawkinson coming through the middle, just catching bombs. Not bombs, but big touchdowns maybe. Kirk and Herbert, I think both have big games. It should be a really fun game, and I'm going to be watching it. I'm pumped. I think one mistake might be the change in this game. Who's going to make it is the question mark. I'm wearing a Chargers jersey, but I'm going to take the Vikings in Minnesota. What do you think?
All right. Yeah, so this should be a really fun game. I was 50-50 on this, honestly. Both offenses are good. Both offenses are coming in hot. Both teams are trying to avoid an 0-3 start. I think both run games are absolutely terrible as long as Eckler's not there for the Chargers. That remains to be seen what happens there. It'll be interesting to see if the Vikings use a little bit more of Ty Chandler, with Madison getting, I think, like 85 yards over his first 2 games, which is fucking terrible. Then Kelly absolutely not showing up last week with Eckler out, not seizing that opportunity. I don't know if Eckler gets rushed back or if he's just not healthy or is healthy. So that remains to be seen. But I think there's still too many options on both sides for either team to really stop the offenses. And it just matters. I think that whoever has the ball last is going to win this game. And a 50-50 split, I'm taking the Chargers here. I can see it going either way, but I like Herbert, so I'm taking the Chargers.
I'm down to make this our matchup of the week if you are, then, if you're taking the Chargers.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm down for it. Maybe we'll see.
Eckler could be the game changer, though.
He could be the game changer. If he's playing, I think the Chargers easily take it. Not necessarily easily, but I'm more confident with that pick. You could see a good game for the first round pick there, Johnston. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And a game that should be an all out air raid on both sides. You could see more people getting involved.
Yeah, should be really fun. Let's move to MetLife Stadium. We got the Pats coming to play the Jets. I don't know about this one. This should be a defensive game. If the Jets defense can hold them, it could be close. I don't know. What do you think about this one, man?
Yeah, I'm taking the Pats in this. Just plain and simple. I think they're a better coach team. They have a better offense right now. Like we said before, until a new quarterback comes in for the Jets, there's not much to be excited there. Everyone just keys on the run because Wilson's not a good quarterback. So even last week, Breece Hall and Cook couldn't do anything. So we'll see what they can do. We'll see if they bring anybody else in. Obviously, it won't matter this week. Whoever they bring in isn't going to play this week. So it should be a defensive battle. The only way I see the Jets taking this is if they get some turnovers and the defense produces a score. But I'm taking the Pats.
Yeah, I agree with pretty much all of what you said. I'm also going to take the Pats. the Pats like to take away the number one player. They've been doing it pretty much since Belichick got in there. So Garrett Wilson's probably going to be a sit this week. And without him going off, I am very nervous about the Jets offense being able to do anything. Even with Breece Hall back there, the Pats are just good on defense. Zach Wilson, I think is going to have a bad game. I think he's going to continue leading the league in picks after this one. And even with the Pats corners hurt, I think they're just going to be able to take this one. So let's just move. We're going to go ahead and go to the Capitol. The Commanders, the Bills are coming to town. Commanders might be without their tight end, Logan Thomas. He got banged up. Can Sam Howell step up versus a good defense? That is my question of the game. I think a sneaky defensive game with some big plays could be in store for us in this one. And I really think a classic Josh Allen to Diggs play wins this one. So I'm taking the Bills. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the Commanders, there's a lot to be excited about there. A good young quarterback, a good defense. They should be a good defense. They're better on paper than they've actually shown this year, but they should be better than they are defensively. But they're starting 2-0, so they're doing something right. Sam Howell, I do think, is rising to the occasion a little bit here and growing chemistry with his team. But I just don't think the Commanders have enough to take on a Super Bowl contender like Buffalo. I got the Bills. I got the Bills coming out of this one victorious, and I think they're a better team. They're better. They're better offensively. They're better on defense and better coached. I think they come out with a W.
Yeah, we pretty much on par there. I think you think the Bills might win a little easier than me, but we both picked the Bills either way.
I think this could be a trap game. Like it could be one where if they play down to the Commanders, they could get knocked in the mouth. But I think that they're just too good of a team to have confidence that the Commanders are going to beat them.
There'd be a lot of question marks if they lose this game for sure.
Yeah.
Let's move to the 4 p.m. slate. We're going to Seattle with the 12th man. They're going to be without Cross and Jamal Adams missed last game, and DK's got hurt ribs, so we'll see what happens with those guys. The Panthers are coming into town. I think the Seahawks are going to win this easy. I think Walker might have a big game at running back.
I think Seahawks win this game easy. I just don't think the Panthers are very good. They're not a good team offensively. There's a lot left to be desired there defensively, especially with J.C. Horn out, who really is the saving grace of their defense. And without him, there's only so much they can do. Brian Burns is good on the pass rush, but there's not a very good team. The Seahawks showed last week that their offense is back. Their offense is there. The first week was a fluke of them not showing up. You could see Walker with a big game, even if DK sits out. They still have depth there at receiver. They did go out and get JSN from the draft, and he's a very good receiver. He'd be the number 2 to Lockett, and even in that circumstance with JSN and Lockett, it'd still be a really good outing. So tight end for there is okay. It's not great, but I just think that they're a better team, better coached, and going to Seattle and dealing with that stadium and the fans there, I don't think Bryce Young and the Panthers offense and defense, I don't think they can take it. They're not a good enough team to still win there. Oh yeah.
No, I agree. I think the whole 4 p.m. slate is kind of rough, honestly.
It's kind of shit, dude.
Next, we got the Cowboys heading to Arizona. I think that's going to be another fucking easy one for the Cowboys, unfortunately for both of us. And then the Bears are heading to Chiefs Stadium, where the Bears have looked like trash. So I'm just going to go ahead and say the Cowboys, Chiefs, and Seahawks in the 4 p.m. slate win 3 easy games.
Yeah, I think
I don't
that's
know
fair.
how much you want to talk about these games. Like,
I think that's 100% fair, and the Chiefs should continue with a win there. The Cowboys should continue with a win as well, and continue to be 3-0. And you're probably going to see some more Cowboys fans saying, "Oh, they looked amazing. They won 30-0," and it's like, hey, you faced the fucking Cardinals. You face
Yeah,
Josh Dobbs.
there's going to be there's going to be a graphic out there that says like Cowboys outscoring opponents 100-20 on the
Yeah.
season. Like, screw you guys, man.
But yeah, it's like impressive because you won the games that you should win. And really, any team that has playoff aspirations, you have to win the games that you should win. If you don't win the games you should win, then you shouldn't be in the playoffs. Like, that's my opinion. But like, you should win them for a reason. You should show up ready to play, ready to dominate. And if you don't dominate and you don't get that W, then your mindset's not right. So there's no reason they should lose that game. There's no reason the Chiefs should lose as well. And can't really see any of them losing.
Yeah, Kelsey is going to have a big game, and Taylor Swift is going to be happy. Okay, let's move. Unless you got something else for the Chiefs-Bears game. You didn't really talk about them, but do we need... Okay.
I hope to see the young guys for the Chiefs do something. So I hope to see like Sky Moore, Rashee Rice. Hope to see those guys do something against a team that they can beat up. That's about it.
Oh,
that's it.
And this is the Pat Mahomes' first paid game, so let's hope he can do better than Joe Burrow in his.
Yeah, maybe he'll put up 3 points.
Oh God. Okay, let's move to Sunday night, though. We got the Steelers heading to Vegas, taking on the Raiders. Steelers have a lot of injuries. Deontay Johnson got put on IR. Minka Fitzpatrick got hurt. The Raiders, Jacoby Myers and Will Chandler-Jones show up. Probably not. He seems to be done with them. I think this could be a sneaky close game. Somebody really needs to step up. The Steelers defense might be the ones to do it. Do we trust Jimmy G to get the win on this one? What do you think about this?
Yeah, I think that's pretty head on there. This could be a trap. This could be a trap game. I think the Raiders, for a lot of teams, are going to be an overlooked matchup and a team that could sneak in and get some W's in situations where they're overlooked. The Steelers do have a lot of question marks. There's a team that's really searching for that identity. Obviously, their defense is very good. The defense very well may be their identity, but for them to be successful, the offense has to show out as well. And the Raiders do have a beatable secondary. I'm taking the Steelers in this game just because I think the defense is going to make that extra play or two that is going to force the Raiders' hands, put the Steelers in good field position. And if they're in the red zone, Freiermuth and Pickens are both two great targets. So I think Steelers come away with it. It could be very close, though. Very close. Could go either way.
Yeah, I agree. I think it could go either way as well. Very close game. I actually did my picks before watching the Steelers come back and win that one against the Browns. So I picked the Raiders just because I don't trust the Steelers offense at all. And Jimmy G kind of likes to win these like close, questionable games as a starting quarterback. So I'm going to keep it. I'm going to still pick the Raiders, but definitely the Steelers D, if Bosa and them can step up and make some turnover plays, and the Steelers will win it. Or
it's the wrong white guy. Watt.
Oh my God, Watt. Jeez. Yeah, why did I say Bosa?
It's the wrong set of brothers. You're wearing the Chargers.
Yeah,
jerseys.
Watt.
Like, you're thinking of
wrong
Joey.
set of defensive brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
wrong
Watt,
set of Hall of Fame brothers.
Yeah, literally, it's pretty wild. I'm probably wearing the least effective of those four brothers, but
you're wearing LT, but
yeah, I'm wearing Chargers. I mean,
yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna take the Raiders. Let's go ahead and move to Monday night. We got a couple pretty fun looking games here. We got your boys, the Eagles, going into Tampa to take on the Buccaneers. Will Baker Mayfield finally fall from grace in this one? What do you think? You're the Eagles fan. What do you think about this? I think I know where you're going, but
my head's going to Hurts mania, baby. Jalen Hurts, I think is going to show out. Dude's going to prove the doubters wrong here in the start of the season. And I think the Eagles take it. I think the receivers do well. I think the run game does well. I think the defense holds the Bucs at bay. With Bradbury coming back off the concussion, they have two good corners with Slay and with Bradbury there, enough to hold with Evans and Godwin, and Blankenship's coming back as well. So the defense gets a little bit healthy. So having those guys back, I think, makes a huge difference. And I think the Eagles take it.
Yeah,
I think the Eagles take it pretty
Eagles
easily.
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course you do. You're the Eagles fan. Look at Dawkins' jersey back there. But
yeah, it's a homer pick. It's
yeah,
an
I think
Dawkins jersey.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Fancy.
fancy.
But yeah, I think the Eagles have kind of been playing down to teams so far. So I think the Bucks could, in theory, steal it if Baker can continue to play tough, especially with Mike Evans and Godwin. But like you said, Bradbury coming back is going to make that tough. I wrote down that the Bucks are going to hang around before the Eagles ultimately put them down in the fourth. But realistically, this could be a rough game if Baker can't figure it out with this Eagles defense. So I am going to take the Eagles as well. Let's go ahead and move to the last game of the week. The Rams are heading into Bengals Stadium here in Cincinnati, pretty close to me. I will not be there, though. Cam Akers on the trade block now. But the big news really is Joe Burrow going to play? I haven't looked today yet to see if they updated anything. I'm going to type it in real quick. So what can you tell me about this while I'm looking this up?
Yeah, I think right now, just the way that the Bengals are playing, even if Joe Burrow plays, he's banged up. He's not playing like himself. Chase has not done too much regardless of the matchup. And I think it's a tough game for them. A lot tougher than we thought going into the season. And the Rams look legit. They look really good, at least on offense. I mean, Kyron Williams is a really good running threat. He had a really good game last week against a really good defense for the 49ers. Puka Nacua and Tutu Atwell both had really good games against the 49ers. 2 weeks into the season, all three of these guys have produced in each game. And the 49ers defense is arguably the best in the league, and they were able to produce there. So I see them coming into Cincinnati, and I've got them Cincinnati on upset alert, and the Rams taking this one.
I agree with you 100%. I'm also picking the Rams. The Bengals just have too many questions, and they've played rough for 2 games now. I do not trust them. Joe Burrow, I looked it up. He was quoted saying that this injury could be a season-long one, which is very concerning for the Bengals' entire season now. And he hasn't practiced yet, so they're waiting to see if he practices soon. They're hoping for it, so he is questionable to play. I'm going to pick the Rams either way, especially if Burrow's out, though.
Unless Will Greer starts, then he's getting like 350 yards and 4 TDs.
Oh, listen, if Will Greer starts, I'm switching it right now. We're going Bengals, baby. He's going to have the game of his life. But yeah, I think Stafford's going to have a good game. Bengals could keep it close, but I think it could end up being a dud too. So yeah, I'm taking the Rams.
I expect a better game for Mixon this week, but the Bengals are tough. The Bengals are tough to know right now, and until they perform, it's hard to have any confidence in them. So I'm going Rams as well.
Yeah, so that wraps up our picks for the week. Chargers, Vikings, be on lookout for the shootout. That's our pick. Fred's going to take the L, of course. But yeah, that's what we got. So if you liked what you saw here, like, comment, subscribe. If you didn't like it, comment anyway. Tell me I'm a big fat loser. Fred, where can people listen to us?
Yeah, you can find us wherever you listen to your podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. We're on most platforms, and obviously here on YouTube as well. Check out our Instagram feed, our Instagram channel. We got a lot of stories, a lot of posts coming out regarding fantasy and waiver wire predictions, start and situms, coming out with spreads soon as well, and what the bets of the week are going to be. So feel free to take a look at that, and really the 4 p.m. slate. You can all smash those money lines, and in terms of the favorite winning those. So we'll catch you there. And unofficially brought to you by Aviation Gin. Here, got the hat going, got the gin action going, and Ryan Reynolds, if you're listening, sponsor here. Sponsor.
All right, it was fun, Fred.
Peace. Talk to you later. See you, Fleabags.